Afternoon, tubers. It's going on 1 o'clock, and it's about 74 in here. And yeah, that is running. When got out here this morning, it was like 45 in here, almost 50. It's cold outside and the wind's blowing. So, and I needed at least up in this upper 60s to so I can work with some fiberglass today. Went to Hobby Lobby and got some vinyl, got more than I needed, just to be on the safe side in case I decide to do something. Been always kicking around with doing something with those the wheel well panels I made, so we'll do. Got some 1/2-inch thick foam and mixing cups for the fiberglass, some 2.5-ounce fiberglass. I buy that by the yard if I use it for the kits. Some carriage bolts. These nuts will just be for tightening them up and sinking the head into the wood. Those will be for the final insulation because they are locking. And the plastic tube I'll explain later, and once we get this thing going. So what we're going to do first is we're going to set the carriage bolts all in. The 1.5-inchers will go on the outside and 1-inchers in the middle. Then we'll fiberglass it, let the fiberglass set up, and then we'll put it in, and using the holes that are in the package tray for the speakers, we'll drill those holes into the OSB piece of OSB, and we'll get all that dust and crap out of there for those before we set it. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Alright, we'll let that set up. What you do is you dab it on with the brush and you make sure you get around the head of the carriage bolts. That'll lock them in. They'll never come out. And so we'll get that. Once that dries, we'll give it a second coat and really lock it in for good. And then this will go in, get bolted in. We'll drill the holes for the speaker, come back out, then we'll start sanding all the edges and everything before we start covering. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Hey tubers, we're going for second coat. Mixing up the glass. Yeah, if you listen real closely, you hear the garage door creaking from the wind. These will set the carriage bolts in really good. Then just dab it. Dab it around the head of the bolt. Remember, there's going to be 1/2-inch foam going over the top of it, so not really that worried about anything that sticks up. Depending upon how hot you mix it, you got about a 10-15 minute work time with this stuff. And this batch I did mix a little hot. Starting to set up now. All right. So that'll be it. We'll let this cure up. Then we'll take the nuts off the back and set the panel in place and get ready to drill holes. When I get more, I'll turn it back on. Later. Second coat is just about dry. It's a little tacky, so we'll let it set overnight. And then we'll put it in, drill the holes for the speakers, sand the speaker edges out, get them a little bit more uniform, and then start covering it maybe tomorrow. So we'll pick this up tomorrow. It's Monday night. I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course leaving comments. And we'll just add on to this tomorrow morning. Later. Afternoon. It's Tuesday, November 26th? I think, yeah, 26th. And little late start today. Had a few appointments this morning, then I just got back from getting my hair cut. So we are going to tinker a little bit on there. It's got it up to 70 in here because I am going to try to use some contact cement today. So that thing's cooking away. And yeah, the package tray's back there. I was looking at these holes, and I want to at least get them all 1/4 inch. So I need to elongate those holes out, or drill those holes out. And on this side, they are already big, so I'm not worried about that. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on. Well, let me explain. First we're going to drill these out, and then we're going to put the package tray in. We're going to mark it, and then we're going to drill the wood on the package tray out, and then pull it out and break out the foam and maybe cover it today. When I get more, I'll turn it back on later. All right, package panels back out, and holes are drilled. And next we'll break out the, no, I can't think. Break out the sander, and then we'll sit there and clean up, dress up these holes a little bit better. And then we'll break out the foam. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright, we cleaned up the holes somewhat. And got the foam pad out. Oh, doorbell, back in a minute. Alright, we got the holes sanded. Don't have to be perfect, just cleaned up a little bit. And got the foam out. So, trying to decide if we're going to wrap it, and I think we are. So, and this is where contact cement comes in. So, and the other thing I'm trying to decide is putting these stanchions, whatever, these in. And as you see, if you didn't, then somebody tightened down the speakers, and that you could sit there and actually collapse the, and it looked like a valley, like your vinyl will be going, then all of a sudden it'll come down right before the speaker grill, because it pulled the speaker grill, pulled the foam down. And I'm thinking of putting these in, because then they'll just go right to here and tighten up the speaker, and it look good, and these will just draw down just a little. So you get this at your local hobby store, and yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. Then we'll use the CA and glue them in, and then we'll get ready to trim the foam and put that on there, and contact cement it up and get ready to do it. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Hey tubers, okay, game plan is to glue this down, then we'll make the stanchions, I guess you call them, and we'll glue those in and cut out and trim the foam accordingly. But I don't want this in here when I go ahead and I'm going to be using this 3M high strength contact adhesive when I start spraying this. So it's going on 4 o'clock, so the sun's going down, and a little late to pull this out. So what we're going to do is we are going to wait and see what the weather is tomorrow, and see if we pull this out. If not, then we're going to start pulling sheets down from up there. It's all the way up there. There are 3 sheets there, and then there are a couple there. I ain't going to use the drop cloth. And then we'll just start covering this up and continue to do it in here. So in the meantime, we'll call it a night, and we'll pick this up in the morning later. Hey tubers, it's Wednesday morning, 27th of November, and I'm not going to open the garage door. They're calling snow up here. Rain and snow for the next 2 days, so we'll keep the Camaro in here. We'll get the sheets down, we'll cover it up. It's close to the trunk. We'll close the trunk and cover it up with some sheets. I got enough sheets up there I can cover the car up with. Can of contact cement is inside, warming up. Heater's on, and we're about 70 in here, so we're getting there. So when I get more, I'll turn this back on later. Now the car's covered. Maybe I ought to ask Santa Claus for a car cover for this Christmas. Yep, I think that's what I'm going to do. So, got to turn that off. We're about 75 in here now. Yeah, it would be nice. It's colder than Jesus outside there for us. At least what I'm used to. Oh God, who's calling? Oh, junk phone calls, gotta love it. So, we got the 3M out here. Gonna spray it down. Got 10 minutes, and then we can put it all together. So, when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Okay, the panel's sprayed, the foam's sprayed, and we'll just wait 10 minutes and then we'll put it on. So, yeah, I need a car cover. I'm going to ask Santa for one. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on later. Alright, it's glued down. We'll let it set up for a good, probably a good hour. We'll come back out and we'll trim this off. Yeah. And then we'll flip it over and start working on the stanchions. God, I can't pronounce that word. The stanchions. But yeah. Looking good. So when I get more, I'll turn it back on. Later, guys. Hey, tubers. It's been a couple hours and it's pretty well set up. So now it's time to trim off the excess. And what I found the best way to do it is with an electric carving knife. Once added note is clean the knife before you use it to carve the turkey tomorrow. I don't have to worry about that because turkey is at Pat's house. So I can't do this one-handed, so let me, let's see, could I? Okay, you guys ready to laugh? Let's see. Alright, that'll give you an idea. I'm not too worried, we just want the corners rounded on this. So let me get going on this, and I'll bring you back when I get it all trimmed up later. Hey, tubers. Alright, that's it. See, the folding the foam over gives you the rounded edge you want. This will just sand out. We'll sand the foam down. Got the holes cut out. Got everything cut out in the back. Now let me give a little disclaimer here, okay? Right off the bat. I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. I'm not saying this is the wrong way to do it. I'm saying this is the way I do it. This is the way I've always done upholstery like this on different interior panels on the car. Again, it's not saying that it's the right way. I'm not saying it's the wrong way. It's just the way I've done things over the years and picked up different tricks of the trade or whatever. So again, this is not the right way. It's not the wrong way. It's the way I do it. And if anybody's got comments on it that are specific in helping me along my task on doing this type of work, then fine and good. Okay? I appreciate all the comments that sit there and help me better the job that I do. So we're going to leave this for a while. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day. It is 4 o'clock. I'm surprised we didn't hear the cars. This is really what I wanted to get done today, was this. And I'm going to have to lay the vinyl out in the living room, on the living room floor to cut it. and I will cut it. There's two schools of thought of putting the vinyl on, and we'll go through that when I get ready to do that. We also got to cut and put the stanchions in, as far as for the speakers, to hold off the speakers from compressing the foam. So we'll put those in. That'll be the next thing that's up, and that's about it. Let's see, other things. We'll have a show live on Friday, same time, 2:30. We'll be talking about anything and everything. Seeing that it's Thanksgiving weekend, I don't know who's going to be there. I suspect Pat and T-Dub will probably both be there. And so that takes care of that. The Corsair build is going along fine. Saturday, when I do my next video, I'll go upstairs and show you that. I just started covering the model. Nancy's in her weird Christmas working schedule at Wally World, and so I go up at night and work on it rather than tinker down here, because I could have this done. I could wrap this up in probably about 4 days if I worked steady at it, but I got until the 20th, until T-Dub gets here, to have this done, and then some. So take my time, do it right. So let's see. I said my live show, I said about the Corsair, and that's about it. We're still trying to figure out how to get this stator plate off, and we haven't had any luck on that. I'm thinking I'm going to notch it on either side and get my pulley puller or gear puller and put it on there and just pull it off and see what happens. So I don't know if that's right way or wrong way, but again, this thing's been sitting here for a couple of weeks now with no progress on it. Did find a gas tank on eBay, so I'll pick that up after the holidays, or actually before the holidays, because the girls are going to want to ride it when they get here, and we'll have to get a couple of brain buckets for them. And I'm going to have to call Santa and tell him I need a car cover, because putting a car cover on this rather than just pulling out all the extra old sheets that Nancy has given me over the years to cover the car be a lot easier just to put a car cover on it. So let's see. Am I babbling or am I going on? So let's see, I told you about the Corsair, I told you about my live show. I gave you my disclaimer on this, right, wrong, or whatever. This is the way I do it, so, don't shoot the messenger here. Let's see, what else? And, yeah, and everybody out there to have a great Turkey Day. I'm going to load this up this afternoon or later on. And everybody have a great Turkey Day. And I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, and of course, leaving the comments. Later.